The film begins in Los Mochis, Sinaloa, where police officer Arturo Carmona is finishing another difficult night shift. Arturo is haunted by an earlier operation in which he was forced to kill a young criminal who had taken people hostage. Money is tight, his wife Isaura is pregnant, and Arturo needs the extra work, so he accepts another night on patrol. He is paired with Arturo Rosales, a newly transferred officer, whose behavior immediately makes Arturo suspicious. Rosales keeps parts of his past to himself, and Arturo cannot shake the feeling that there is something about his new partner he does not understand. The shift changes when federal forces launch an operation against a hideout connected to El Cholo, one of the Sinaloa Cartel's important men. The authorities storm the location, but the criminals manage. Those fleeing is Joaquin El Chapo Guzman himself. The two men emerge from the tunnels and steal a vehicle, desperate to get away before the authorities can close the roads around them. Meanwhile, Arturo and Rosales receive information about a stolen car and begin looking for it, still unaware of just how important the vehicle is. When they finally spot the car, the officers pull it over. At first, it looks like a routine arrest. But when they approach the occupants, they realize the passenger is El Chapo, the most wanted man in Mexico. For Rosales immediately understands the danger. El Chapo and El Cholo now know exactly who stopped them, and the two, with the country's most powerful criminal sitting in their vehicle. Rosales wants to let them go because he knows that arresting them could put both officers and their families in danger. Arturo have found the man they were never even expecting to encounter, and Arturo decides they are going to do their job. El Chapo remains surprisingly calm and begins working on the two officers psychologically. He knows fear is useful, but money can be even more effective. He starts talking about what he can give them if they simply let him walk away. The offer is enormous enough to completely change their lives. Rosales is visibly tempted by the possibility, but Arturo refuses to listen. He knows that accepting the money would not only destroy his career, but would make them part of the same criminal world they are supposed to fight. El Chapo keeps pushing, reminding them of his influence, and the situation becomes more dangerous when cartel gunmen begin moving against the officers. Arturo and Rosales realize that the arrest has already triggered a response. They cannot simply stop and wait for help because the men hunting them could arrive at any moment. They continue driving while trying to contact their superiors, but communication is difficult, and their fuel is running low. When they stop at a gas station, the tension rises again, and Rosales has to help prevent the situation. The officers eventually decide that the safest option is to hide at the Motel del Puerto while they wait for reinforcements. Inside the motel, the danger becomes even more personal. Arturo has already taken a photograph of El Chapo, and that image begins making its way through the police chain of command. Once the authorities realize what has happened, forces are mobilized to find the officers and secure the arrest. But Arturo is not thinking only about himself. He is worried about Isaura and his family. A police officer named Barraza is staying there undercover, and his presence becomes crucial when the officers need help keeping El Cholo under control. He speaks with the confidence of a man who believes his power extends far beyond the walls of the room. He knows how much money he has, he stays committed to the decision he made on the road. Rosales also remains with him. The two men know that they have crossed a line from which there may be no easy return. They are no longer dealing with an ordinary criminal. They are holding the leader of one of the most powerful cartels in Mexico, and the cartel can take control of the situation. El Chapo and El Cholo are finally placed under arrest, while the other people involved are taken into custody as well. Arturo's family is protected, and the immediate threat against the officers begins to disappear. But even after the capture, another problem emerges, as different police authorities argue over who will take responsibility for transporting the cartel leader. Everyone now understands the importance of the man sitting in custody, and nobody wants the operation to fail at the final stage. In the end, El Chapo is successfully taken into custody,